We're here. It's the Detroit Lions pregame show here with Crunch Time with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. And this is our first pregame show, so I'm fired up about it. And we have a big game to preview. Why not? I mean, the NFC Championship game, Booner. Detroit Lions are in it, by the way, in case you didn't know. Welcome, everybody, to the show. How you feeling this morning, Booner?
I feel great. I mean, me and you, at the end of the day, you and I probably have done 17, 18 pregame shows this year.
Oh, yeah.
First one on Crunch Time, baby. Let's go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, this is nothing new for us. I'm fired up. Appreciate everyone for joining. It's a big one. Lukas Klotz will be joining us in about 20 minutes. MicroMike will be joining us at 10:45.
Big time guest, man. Big time guest.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for this one.
I have as well. MicroMike, very knowledgeable. He's going to be joining us in about 45 minutes to help us break down the game. Welcome in, everybody. Also, congratulations to us, because 40 Gumble just became a Crunch member, YouTube member. Thank you, 40 Gumble. We appreciate that. Coach Walk, he says, good morning, boys.
Coach Walk, legend.
Ramirez, what's up, fellas? LFG, more excited to be here, though, for real. We appreciate that. Demetrius, Booner Path, baby.
Let's go. Hey, the Booner Path, I saw a comment last night. We were actually doing something last night, and I saw a comment that said, tell this Booner guy to stop talking about. I'm not stop talking about the Booner Path. I've been talking about it since September. I've been talking about it going to the Super Bowl since September. Like, this isn't a new thing here. You want me to stop talking about it? Listen, stop listening to it if you don't want to hear it, because I've been talking about this since September. We have manifested this. Everyone in the chat right now, everyone watching who has been around for the Booner Path, I appreciate all of you guys, because guess what? Today is the day that it all comes true, and we go to the Super Bowl, just like we all talked about and how I've been talking about for all the people all year long. This is a big day for me. It's a big day for Lions fans, but it's a big day for the Booner Path, man.
Oh,
and real quick, people, if you guys are watching, go share the news about the show here today. Go tell people, go spread the news. Like, what is it, like back in the day when they had like war or something, like get on your horse and go spread the news. Go do that that for us, please. Go tell everyone that we're live for the pregame show.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. That's how we're going to do that. Robin's Nest just became a member as well. We appreciate you, Robin. We're going to get into it, man. We
throw Terry's comment up there. I need to figure out how I get some access to this comments thing.
Yeah, no doubt. Let me see here. Okay.
I am very, very parched for some Kool-Aid, Terry. I am very parched for some Kool-Aid. I cannot wait. And I will be at Ford Field. So when the Lions do win today, if you guys are around Ford Field, you might see me outside of Ford Field drinking the Kool-Aid today. A lot better than the streets of Birmingham. I'm going to be on the streets of Detroit in Ford Field.
Potentially next to the Barry Sanders statue.
Potentially.
Those are just rumors.
Rumors. Yeah, we're trying to figure out some logistics here, but there's some things we're working out.
Seth, thank you for becoming a YouTube member, a Crunch member. Trippy Gypsy gifted 5 Crunch members for people. We appreciate you, Trippy, as well. All right. It's time to get started. Later in the show, too, we'll be doing Booner's Bets. He'll be giving out his Legacy Player of the Week. We'll be going through some bets. If you want to make some money, Booner lays the picks out there. It's up to you to choose to follow him.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
I've got them, too.
You can lead a horse to water, Booner, but what happens? Can't make it drink.
Can't make it drink it.
Yeah, that's all we can do here. All right, to start it off, I want to go through at least what we have so far on the injury report, because we'll get the official one closer to game time, obviously, and that will be posted on our socials, which you could check out at Official CT Pod on X. So you could follow that, and we'll be sharing all the updates. Mr. Ray says, can't wait for the day we put up the "Hey Man, welcome to Detroit" Dan Campbell statue right outside of Ford Field.
Oh my gosh,
that'd be iconic. What's up? What do you got?
I was saying, anyone already on this team, like division, 2 playoff wins, and if they win today, anyone that you're like guaranteed, I think Dan Campbell's guaranteed. Not guaranteed, but like he's on his way for a statue. Oh, I would have to say.
You kidding me? Yeah.
He's the best coach that we've had already in our lifetime or history of the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, in 3 years, and now just this season. I mean, you can if you make a Super Bowl first time in the Super Bowl era, yeah, build that man a statue. Give him a blank check. I don't give a damn. Extend him for life.
Give him a statue while he's still coaching, man.
Dayju says, can lead Jeff down the Booner path. We can't make him believe.
That's a fact. That is a fact, man.
All right. So to start off, at least, and I want to just talk about what's to come on the show before we get into the matchups, because Again, we'll be getting into a lot of different things, right? Like the Lions offense against this 49ers defense, vice versa, 49ers offense against this Lions defense. We'll be talking about some matchups we're looking for, how the Lions could take advantage today, maybe some problems the 49ers pose, and how we think that the Lions can pose some problems. We'll get through all that, Booner's bets, and of course, MicroMike. But to start us off, Booner, we're here. I mean, we're talking about Lions football in late January, previewing an NFC Championship game. The Lions are one of the last 4 teams alive, and they've earned it. Like, this wasn't given. This was earned from the Detroit Lions. Earned.
Yeah, I mean, the Detroit Lions are a Final Four team right now. Like, there are 4 teams left, and the Detroit Lions are one of them, and they're 60 minutes away from being the final 2 and going to a Super Bowl. Like, the earned thing, it goes back, and I posted a video on my Twitter today. Like, I posted our Twitter, the Crunch Time Podcast Twitter. The start of all of that being Dan Campbell's knee biting, like, that press conference, that right there is when you knew, okay, things might be a little bit different. A lot of people hated him for that. I don't remember, like, all these like national media went at him. They've just worked and earned for the last 3 seasons, man. They started 0-10-1, 1-6 to start last year, and just found ways to just grind back and get better and get better and get better. A lot of these players on this team today were on that 0-10-1 team, on the 1-6 team last year, and they just constantly just said, hey, we're going to put our head down. We're going to go to work. And they earned everything. And it's literally, and it gets very cliche, it's the grit. It's that whole grit thing. It's just like, you put your head down and you work. We this team has grit. They know how to go work in practice, training camp, everything they do on, off the field. It's just Dan Campbell has this whole organization kind of that culture flipped upside down, and they've earned everything they have, man. Like, so many people have doubted them, gone at them, whether it was last year, this year. I mean, even up to, the Rams game, and even last week, there was just so many people who just continue to just go like at the Detroit Lions, like, no, they've earned every single thing they have here, and they've proved a lot of people wrong. It's very well deserved what's happening right now, especially for Lions fans too.
Steve Lehman gifted 5 Crunch members.
Shout out Steve, man. Steve is awesome.
Lehman. He's a real one. Appreciate you, Steve. Obi-Wan became a YouTube member. I see people asking this before we get into. I just want to answer this question. People asking, how do I become a YouTube member? It is in the description of pretty much every video we have now. Just for an easy link, it's in there. It'll have a link in the description. You click on it and you can join. There's different levels, of course. I think there's 4 different levels. Could be mistaken, but whatever fits you, whatever you feel comfortable with, there you go. You can become a YouTube member. So that's how you do it.
In the chat too, if you guys see where you guys are typing in the chat right underneath, there's a little rectangle with the money sign in there. If you click that, it says membership, and you should be able to click on membership, and you'll be able to choose what membership you want.
Yep.
Appreciate you guys for that too.
Gemcat, Lions 26, 49ers 24, #crunch time. I like that score.
I like that.
It's 26, like a missed extra point out of somewhere. I mean, hey, I'll take it, Jamcat. Lions win. That's all that matters.
Safety, 2-point conversion, or some type of deal.
Hey, you got to get it somehow. I want to go through just the rivalry, because I do have some data here I wanted to get to the people. The Lions-49er rivalry has been played 68 times, including 2 postseason games. The Lions have won 28 of those games, and the 49ers have won 39 of those games. They've also tied 1 game. The 49ers lead the total series against the Lions 39-28, and then, of course, the 1 tie. Booner, and we're going to get in the offense in a couple of minutes. If there's one part of this football team I don't really have questions about, it is their offense. Like, I think their offense can compete with anybody in the NFL. I know they had a doozy against the Ravens, but listen, that happens. I think if they played the Ravens once again, I still think this offense, I still feel confident. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think this offense can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the league. Anybody.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, back-to-back years, Jeff, top 5 offense. Back-to-back years. So, I mean, Ben Johnson has – the only thing I'm going to say to that, and I'm not going at the offense at all, I think that's the strength of this team. And if they're rolling, this team's good. They can go win this football game. Only thing, and I've mentioned this the last few weeks as well, is this offense, like Ben Johnson, like remember the Dallas game, the first 3 quarters, he went away from what he tried to get a little too cute, a little too tricky, a little too like, let's try different things. Let's try and get the ball out there instead of like ground and pound, open up the pass game for Jared Goff. I've talked about that a ton. And that's the only thing like I do not want Ben Johnson to get into the habit of today is doing that. I want him to say, hey, let's get the ball to D-Mont, Gibbs, and then we start passing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want this offense to be in a flow. And we've seen them in very, very good spots and very good games. The Kansas City Chiefs game, very well called game by Ben Johnson. Like, every single possession, you could tell that he knew that it was like each possession meant something. That's what it is today. It's each possession is basically the trip on. You have a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, and you have to look at it that way. You can't try anything too crazy. Be yourself, though. Don't want you to not be yourself, but like that Dallas game, man, when he was trying and you just started like having 3 straight passes on 3 and outs, and it's like that's not your game. Like you have the best running back duo in the NFL. Play to your advantage, and that's the only thing. And I'm saying like that is the only thing I think that will hurt this offense today in certain possessions. They always find a way though to have a handful of possessions that are dominant, and I think that's kind of the strength today.
Yeah, and you can't go away from what got you here, right? Like the Lions' strengths, they're a good football team, right? You have questions about their secondary, but certainly for what they do offensively, that run game is going to be important. Time of possession, keeping this 49ers offense off the field, because the last 2 games they played, I would say one of those games, certainly the Rams game, that's an offense you want to keep off the field, even though a lot of things were equal in that game. Ideally, this 49ers team, if you can run the football, establish play action, just get these. You look at the 49ers too, and their third down defense isn't great. So if you're getting in favorable third down, third and short, even third and 7, hell, I don't really care at this point with this run game and what they can do with Jahmyr Gibbs and being explosive. You got to keep moving the chains, and that's how you do it, man. You run the football effectively. We got some more members, right? Jamcat just became a member. We appreciate you, Jamcat. Dat Boy Roy 2.0 became a member as well, and then Sean became a YouTube member. So appreciate you guys. We actually just put out a new exclusive member video for Gold Crunch members. It's really the keys to victory for the Detroit Lions. So if you're a part of the Gold Crunch member category, you'll get that video, and it's on our channel. But we'll be covering similar things on this stream, but nothing directly like we will do on those exclusive videos, of course.
Yep.
But just to start us off here, and I want to get just kind of staying on the offense. And for the injury report, no Jonah Jackson, right? He's ruled out. He didn't practice all week. Khalif Raymond, he did not practice all week. He's ruled out as well. I mean, Jonah, I don't want to discount the loss because it is like Jonah Jackson's one of the best.
It's a big hit. It's a big hit.
And you're getting it's not just losing Jonah, it's who's replacing Jonah. Like that matters too. Like Yodi, you see some up and downs, right? Like he's been okay. He was okay last game. So you're hoping that, especially on the interior, that 49ers, that pass rush, this is why it goes back to running the football, because if you're able to run the football, how do you neutralize a good pass rush, Booner? You run the football. Yep. And that's going to keep these guys at least on their toes to some extent, right? Keeping them guessing, because if you're dropping back every play and you're letting this 49ers pass rush get loose, that's where a guy like Yodi can get exposed, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and I see in the chat here, someone said put in Dan Skipper. Dan Skipper's going to be playing a lot today as well.
Dan Skipper.
He is going to have a big game and more than he has in the past. Yeah, dude, Dan's been playing a ton the last few weeks on this little run. I think that increases a lot today, just because the only way I see it, I said this Friday on our show, the only way I could see you kind of dominating in the run game without Jonah Jackson and Pat is you have to just. It's going to be bad. I'm sure Ben's worked on it all week, but Ben Johnson, like his schemes, like you're going to have to find different ways to do it. And it sucks because you're in the NFC Championship game and you don't want to have to do that. That's just what it comes down to is Yodi is completely different than Jonah Jackson. You have to find a way to still protect Jared Goff. You have to find a way to still dominate in the run game. And it's going to come down to just like, and Ben Johnson's the best in the game. So it's going to come down to what can he draw up and what can he put his guys in an advantage over the 49ers with the guy out. And it worries me too. I don't know. Remember, Jeff, do you remember the stat? I don't know what it is now, but when the offensive line is fully healthy this year, they were like, I know at one point they were like 6 or 7-1, or that at one point they were like 6-0, and then they lost to the Cowboys. And then I think after that, however many wins we've had after that, I think 3 or 4. So like 8-1, 9-1 now. So you're 8 or 9-1 with your full healthy offensive line. Like that would have been very nice going into this game. Just at the way though, at this point, like I think it's going to come down to this scheme. Like, what type of players are Ben Johnson's drawing up? What's the game plan going into it? Because you can't just be like, we're going to play normal and we're just going to do everything normal like we do, and we're going to run behind Yodi and we're going to put him in. Like, no, you're going to have to like have help come over and help him. Have a running back in the pass protection go over and help Yodi. Like, especially like with this 49ers pass, there's going to have to be a mix up. I'm sure they've worked on it all week though. I'm very confident they have.
You get that outside zone going with Jahmyr Gibbs, and you get Penei Sewell in motion. Oh my god! I mean,
the pin pull. I keep talking about this pin pull thing. Shout out Dan Orlovsky, man. He broke that down beautifully.
I listen. I would hate to be the man trying to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs with Penei Sewell in front of him. That's just what it's a different type of challenge. Coach Walk, I love Skipper, a 6'9" giant. And I know a couple people were mentioning too. And Jam Camp brought this up. No Zach Ertz equals a lot of Dan Skipper, which Zach Ertz, he's not playing today. I think that's already confirmed. So I don't know if I love that. I get it, but also it's kind of like the Debo thing. Like this is like, hey, you're calling all help. Like if you could contribute, you're playing, and if they need a tight end, man, like Zach Ertz has played in this league for a while now. Like I don't get why he wouldn't be able to go.
He said in his first interview, he said, I don't care if I play or not this week. I'm coming in. And the number one thing that he came in for is, in my opinion, I think they brought him in for the leadership aspect. And I get like Brock Wright's hurt. You might have needed it. And maybe we have to wait for the actives to come out because he's still, I believe he still could get brought up and be active. I could be wrong on that. It could be official that it's too late now. But the leadership dude, like Jeff, he's played in a Super Bowl. His interview that you saw last week when Broder kind of talked to him and they had a conversation with him, he was like, I'm here. I don't care if I play a snap. I'm here to help Sam Laporta and get him ready for this game. I'm here to help St. Brown get ready for this game. D-Mont, these guys that have never been in these positions and who are young, I am here to help them. Like, to me, yes, I would love for him to catch passes today. I would love for him to be able to out there and block. It's very valuable that he was in the room and out on the field today working with those guys. Very valuable. Like that takes you from here to here at some aspects of the game and just preparing for a game like this.
Yeah, and I see this comment. It's Trisha Miller. She says we had to activate another alignment because of Ragnow's injury potential. Yeah, I get that, but man, like Zach Ertz, I think could help you this week immediately.
Will Harris active?
I don't even want to talk about it.
Just ask. I'm just trying to think of some guys like who can we take down and put
I don't even want to. If Will Harris is out there, we got a problem. Great human being, but man, we have
a problem.
But at the same breath, is he worse than Kendall Vildor? I don't know. I mean, corner's a problem regardless who's out there. It seems like.
Yeah,
that's just how I feel about it.
That's why we have people ask us all the time about Cam Sutton. I'm sure we'll get into it, but it's like
Rob, thanks for the YouTube member. Sorry,
shout out Rob. We have people ask us. I know me and you we were somewhere yesterday, and someone they were mentioning Cam Sutton. I just don't know who you play in part of him, in front of him. I don't know. And
look at this one, Elgato. I took GJ interception plus 1700.
Okay, I have bets later. CJ may be in my bets. Plus 1,700, Elgato, I'm going to need you to show me where you got that because I have CJ Gardner-Johnson within my bets. And I'm tell you what, it is not plus. I did not get it at plus 1,700. So if you could tell me where you got that when we do our bet segment, I do have a CJ Gardner-Johnson prop. Would love to know where that 1,700 is because I got it at a way different number. Maybe I got it at a different time.
There was also another comment in here. It was Hutch for 2 sacks or Hutch for a sack. And it was plus money too. Oh, Elgato also saying took Hutch 2 sacks plus 250, $75. Wow. I mean, we gotta, and we'll dive into it. Booner's bets. We have a whole segment for Booner, but like there's some interesting things there. Like 2 sacks for Aiden Hutchinson with the role he's on. I wouldn't put it past him. I would.
I mean, he's averaging 2 sacks a game in the last 4 games. So
yeah, no, yeah, it's not even a debate at this point. Like Aiden Hutchinson's, he's pretty much on a sack a game at least pace, like the last handful of games. So, but to speak more on this offense, though, at least with the injuries we know of, Jonah Jackson out, Frank Ragnow banged up, Jahmyr Gibbs, and we talked about this all week on the show. And if you missed it, you can go back and check it out. Jahmyr Gibbs, to me, is going to be a big part of this game plan today because of 2 things. Obviously, total yards, right? Scrimmage yards, which that would be a good bet to bet on, too, on FanDuel.
Maybe I have it. Maybe I.
You know what? Sorry, I don't want to. You know what? I'm not giving nothing away.
But let's not talk bets until my segment, Jeffrey.
Yeah, but Jahmyr Gibbs, I think today, especially with the 49ers and their run defense, and they're certainly. I mean, you look at where they rank in the NFL. I mean, we talk about the Lions' run defense and how great they are.
Yeah,
their run defense right now is 3rd behind the Lions, which is 2nd. So it's not like they're a bad run defense. But you watched last week, Booner, and that was on the road, and Aaron Jones looked pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Jones
it's
dominated.
Certainly it's not that they're bad, but they're exposable. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like the Lions have shown all year, no matter who they face, they've been very, very consistent. And I know Christian McCaffrey's the toughest test by far they've had. I get that. But if we're talking about offensive line versus offensive line, I'll just say this. I got more confidence in the Lions' offensive line. End of story.
Yeah. Easily, even without Jonah Jackson, like this. I mean, this is at the end of the day the best offensive line in the NFL when they're fully healthy. Dude, yes. Penei Sewell, Taylor Decker, Frank Ragnow, even Graham Glasgow has been elite this year. Like he's been he's almost made himself like to where you could bring him back. Like you want to bring him back. There's been guys who have dominated. Sam Laporte has been great blocking. I saw the Nicholas Earl comment. This day is greater than the birth of my son. That is awesome. Shout out your son though, and go Lions, baby. I'm with you on that, and I think you could take advantage of that because the fact that Aaron Jones and Aaron Jones, he's not even, if you think about it, like they were running outside the tackles with Aaron Jones. That was where they were dominating. The Dan Orlovsky thing, the pin pull thing. Jahmyr Gibbs is that much more explosive than Aaron Jones and that much better and shiftier. And he's going to be able to do a lot more than Aaron Jones is able to do. So they're going up against the next level Aaron Jones this week. And they couldn't stop Aaron Jones last week. That's why in tease ahead, I love Jahmyr Gibbs today. It's because of that. It's if they get him the rock and they put him in the right positions. Dude, the 49ers defense struggled last week. They struggled last week versus Aaron Jones. Like bad. Yeah. And it felt like when we were watching the game, it felt like every time he touched the ball, he was either getting a first down or he was breaking off for a long game.
Yeah, and that's why it's hard not to have confidence in him, right? Every time he touches the rock,
yep,
he's hitting pay dirt, he has a chance to. You learned that term a couple months ago, Booner.
Pay dirt. I'm learning a lot, man.
Pay dirt is a real term. Yeah, it is. But Jahmyr Gibbs, what is he? He was up. I think he was 2nd in the NFL in 20+ yard gains. Big game Gibbs, I call him. He's a problem, and especially with this offensive line and depending on how Ben Johnson schemes things up, right? If you're running behind Penei Sewell, if you're running on the right side of the offensive line, you're running behind Graham and Penei, like there will be issues. And Nick Bosa, Penei's faced Nick Bosa before. He faced him his rookie year.
First game of his career, I believe.
And that was the game, I believe, the 49ers, like they blew out the Lions, but then they clawed back late in the game. So they made it a game, but it wasn't really a game at the beginning. It was just, it was weird. But Penei Sewell in his first game, no Taylor Decker, playing left tackle, didn't allow a sack. That's who we're talking about here, Mr. Penei Sewell, who does that in pass protection, but also blocks 2 guys in the run game.
Yep.
There's not too many tackles, Booner, that are elite at both. So for Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm confident he's gonna have a big game today.
Penei Sewell's given up 1 sack all season long. One sack, and he hasn't gone up versus scrubs all. Like he has been going up against dudes all season long. Like this isn't like you've had bad matchups. You know, he got lucky. No, he's been going up versus dogs, and he has dominated them, and he has not given up a sack. There is no way today, NFC Championship game, knowing Penei Sewell, you guys see his videos. That man he is ready. 0 chance he gives up a sack versus Nick Bosa today. Nick Bosa is going to have to go to the other side versus Taylor Decker, and guess what? Taylor Decker's been playing some really good football the last 2 or 3 weeks. Really good football.
Oh, yeah.
He's been one of the highest PFF graded tackles in the NFL the last 2 or 3 weeks. He has been very, very good. So you have that. Now, if Taylor Decker gives up one, oh, well. But to be able to have like the 49ers to put them in a position to where they have to really worry about your offensive lineman because you have the best offensive lineman in the NFL, better than the one that you have on your side, better than Trent Williams. Let me see Big Poppy Sewell get a catch, even a ton. Oh, if he got a touchdown catch,
dude,
man.
If he got a TD catch in an NFC Championship game,
man,
give him the gold jacket now. Give him if he's making play, like does he have a blemish at that point? Like he's catching TD, he's catching first downs. If he catches a TD, he's elite in pass protection, elite in run. Like, can you have a flaw?
No.
For God's sakes? Like, geez. And to what, 23 years old? My God. Elgato gives 2 TDs.
Gives 2 touchdowns. Hey, I will throw this out. We gotta wait for the bets because there's some things going on with the bets that I'm questioning.
Oh, your question. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. God hates cowards.
God hates cowards. Shout out legend too. By the way,
he says he's given up 1 sack in 2 seasons. The sack he had to choose between 2 dudes, and the outside one got home. Yeah, and he's going to be in those predicaments. That's why when I said yesterday, I was being a little dramatic. It was 2 days ago when I said that I don't think he sniffs a pressure, Nick Bosa. Like, pressures are a little skewed, but I guarantee me and you were in lockstep, no sacks.
No sacks.
Because pressure
not on Panay. If he might have to go to the other side to get one.
If Jared Goff, if he's it depends on how he's moving in the pocket. Like if Panay's in a tough position, I don't want to say no pressures, but would you be shocked? I wouldn't.
No,
I wouldn't.
I mean, I just go back to, dude, every time I love it that Chargers game, like all day Panay's matched up versus Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack, like whoever, either one, and like he didn't give anything up, like nothing up. And at the end of the game, he comes walking in the locker room like, man, I was just out there playing with little kids, man. Like I was dominating. Like what did he say? He's like, this is men versus kids or something like that. Like,
yeah, it was
just like I can't remember the exact quote, but like, dude, he just
that's
Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. That's Nick Bosa's brother and Khalil Mack, who I think had 16 sacks this year, 17 sacks.
Yeah, it's not just like he's facing some backup defensive end, and he's like, yeah, these guys are babies. Like he's facing 2
of the best in the NFL in one game.
That's why I love him. He's a dog. Vincent said this comment I agree with 100%. Use Panay like Bears use Perry. Yeah, I mean, just come on, like get this man a TD, make the Super Bowl, get him a TD, and he'll go down as he's already a legend, but he'll really go down as a true legend.
Hey, just to look ahead real quick. I think everyone here in the chat has confidence the Detroit Lions can win this football game. So this is why I want to bring this up. The Detroit Lions get to the Super Bowl, Jeff, and we're talking about this offense.
Yeah.
Think about a guy like Ben Johnson, who is the best in the NFL, the tricks that he has up his sleeve. You're in the Super Bowl, right? Like you hold nothing back. Every trick play you have, everything that you have, the best of the best. Think about the plays that you could see out of Ben Johnson in a Super Bowl, because think about how deep his bag is, the trick plays, everything that that might be a game where you do see a Panay touchdown, or you see like some crazy thing that you never thought, because Ben's just like, he's the best in the game right now. And when you're in the Super Bowl, everything's on the table.
And it's so hard. And by the way, Elgato, thanks for $2. 49ers right tackle is a huge weakness. There you go. And Aaron Glenn, I'm certainly he's aware of that. Like, they're going to move Aiden all around, but certainly abuse that matchup. It's hard because Panay Sewell's such a gifted athlete that you could do things like use him, especially in the red zone, and he could catch a TD. He could sneak out, and people wouldn't expect it. And he's super athletic. He's got hands too. You saw that against the Vikings. He caught that pass for a first down. But he's so good that you want him in pass protection too. Like, it's like, man, he is just so special. He's the first guy I'm locking up. If I'm being truthful, like easily for the most money. Like, he deserves everything and more.
He's gonna change the market.
Next. Oh yeah,
he'll change the market for offensive linemen,
because he's one of the best. It's not just he's not one of the best tackles. He's one of the best football players on planet Earth.
Yeah, like ESPN top 100 next year, he should be like a top 10, top 15,
dude. Yeah, they don't make him like Panay Sewell. Let's move over to defense though. We just got done talking about the offense. The Lions defense, man, and I want to start with something that doesn't give me a headache to talk about, and that's the run defense, because it's actually pleasant for me to talk about. They've been great. They haven't given up a 100-yard rusher all year. And they're facing their biggest test by far. And it's not just what Christian can do in the run game, but what he can do in the passing game as well. He's a weapon, all-around complete weapon. Led the NFL in touchdowns scored. He's going to be Offensive Player of the Year. Christian's a terrific player. But this is a run defense that's just been consistently tested and tested and tested. And they've answered the phone. Like, they've answered the call. And I think Kyren Williams, what they did against Kyren Williams, Booner, gives me even more confidence that they can contain Christian McCaffrey this week.
Kyren Williams was the second best running back in the NFL this year.
Easily.
The second best. And if you guys don't think, like, he was. He was just putting the numbers up. He was out there doing things like Christian McCaffrey, making people miss, going out there, making plays, big plays. I'm with you, Jeff, though. I think I'm very confident. I did put that as, like, I thought about, like, the run, stopping the run has to be your number one at, like, priority. And I brought this up to you a day ago, but the Saquon Barkley thing, Jeff, like, last year, the Detroit Lions, they stopped the run the second half of the season. A guy like Saquon last year that AG had to kind of scheme against, he was the best running back probably the best in the NFL he was putting numbers up last season. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he was putting numbers up. And the Detroit Lions went against him, and they held him to 15 carries for 20 yards. That's where I'm looking at today. It's AG. It's, hey, you've been the really, really good top 5 in the NFL at stopping the run. That's what you need to do to Christian McCaffrey today. Now, it might not be 15 for 20. It might be 15 for 50 or 60. But if you do that, like, it changes the game, and it gives you the advantage. And if I'm being honest with the two, I think they could do it. Like, and you know what it comes down to? And I think this is what it's been all year. It's that linebacking group. Like, obviously, the big fellas in the middle, like, they're plugging the hole, like, pause, but they're filling the gaps. They're doing everything they need to do.
Yeah, I get it. You got to pause that one.
Go look at, like, if you watch these run defense, watch the way that Alex Anzalone and Derek Barnes and Jack Campbell and Rodrigo, like, when these guys are out there in the run game, the way they fill gaps and just they like attack, dude. They're very underrated, man, when it comes to that.
That's why I think the biggest X factor this week is to me. You mentioned it's the linebacker core, but Alex Anzalone, like, the quarterback on defense, like, what he can do in the run game as well. Benji the GOAT. Benji, we appreciate you, man. Became a YouTube member. Benji's a real one. He's been supported.
Shout out Benji. And in the chat, it looks like there's, like, people going at it. Listen, this is all positive vibes today. If you guys are arguing in the chat, we're about to go to that Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
No, I want whoever's in the chat arguing, say sorry. ELE, everybody love everybody. Let's go, baby. Love everyone too.
Yeah, we love you. Hey, it's positive vibes. Lions are all in the NFC Championship.
Typically, I'll let you guys all go at it any other day, but today we need every single good, like, vibe, positive vibe there is. If you guys watch me at watch parties and stuff, I don't like any negativity, especially on a day like today. This is the biggest day of our life.
He is
positive
right.
vibes. I love all of you guys. Every day I would say go at it. I love going at people's heads and arguing with people. You guys know me. Today we're not doing that.
No, Booner's right. We're not doing it today. Peace and love today. Lions fans got to unite, not divide. Yes. Caden says we need to wrap up CMC up, otherwise he will bounce off all the way.
Tackle.
He's right. Shout out to Elgato, $2. Lions are 1-5 against the ref Blakeman alternate plus 10.5. Yeah, Elgato's the guy's just blowing his load before the betting segment. I mean, pause on that, but it's not. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that Booner, you haven't teased anything yet. You got a lot of things planned, so I can't wait to get to that because he's already fired up. 40 Gumble. Had a dream last night. Thank you for the $5, by the way. Had a dream last night. Lions down by 3 with 0.04 seconds left. Line up for a 55-yard goal, 55-yard field goal. It's a fake.
What a dream.
A wide open rod. Number one, how is it 0.04? That's my first question. And then it's a fake. Fox throws a wide open Rodrigo for the TD.
He said I meant 4 seconds.
Oh, okay. Then you're 40 Gumball. I'll let you slide then. You're right.
Dude, that would be an all-time Dan Campbell move. Like,
yeah,
you can kick it to go to overtime and you fake it.
Yeah, that would be iconic. Like that play, like that play would be like the DMAC making Claude the Mute Turtle. It'd be like that play.
Yeah.
Cemented in the history for the Detroit Lions.
To go to the Super Bowl, dude. Oh my gosh. That's dude. Imagine that though. The last 3 years. Yeah, I saw that. That is hilarious. The last 3 years, it's been all.
We got a special guest joining the program. If he can get his Wi-Fi to work, there he is. All right, Klotzy.
No, it's working. It's working.
Are you sure?
Can you hear me?
It's not. Sure? It's definitely not working.
All right.
Let me do this. Let me do this. Hey, hold on.
Oh, look at yeah. You got to. Klotzy, get it together. What's going on with you right now, Klotz?
I didn't do the Louis Riddick prayers.
This is not good.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, you're good.
Give it a second. Let it warm up.
Let it warm up.
Normally, I got to get everything going right away, or I give it a second to warm up. Yeah, it has to.
Oh. What is going on?
Dom Rivera says it's a dream, Jeff. Let the man have it. Yeah. You know, my apologies.
Yeah,
Dom, you're right.
Add me back in I'm gonna leave. Add me back in a second.
Okay, yeah, get out of here, Klotz. All right, he's banned. No more Lukas Klotz. I don't know. That was Wi-Fi over there, man. I don't know what's going on.
Brutal. Jeff.
I think he's using Windows 1, to be honest with you.
But listen, that's not good vibes for today. I want everything to go very smoothly. I'm going to text him right now. I'm going to say, dude, if your Wi-Fi's not working, stay off the stream.
Yeah, good vibes. Remember, we talked about that.
Dude, we need everything that goes well here today.
It's funny. He joined.
Has he already joined again?
I don't want this to become a thing because listen, I'm a good guy.
I see this comment.
But the people roasting Lukas, it's funny. It's kind of funny.
I think it's funny. I see some comments here.
I think it's pretty funny.
Lukas on dial-up. Demetrius. Oh my gosh.
Someone the other day said he's out of his double wide trailer. I don't know what they got over there, but he'll be joining in a second. Lukas Klotz. It's weird because he has like a whole studio in his garage, but obviously the internet can't he's got to move the box, dude. But regardless, sticking on this defense, the run defense we're confident in, Booner. Like even against Christian McCaffrey, I am confident in this run defense. Now I will say that secondary, they almost had 3 1,000-yard receivers. Fun fact: Ayuk had 1,300, and Debo almost had 900, and then you had George Kittle with 1,000. And they're all playing.
Detroit Lions almost did as well.
No, they had 2,000, almost 2,000-yard receivers.
Oh yeah, I guess so. I might be.
You're thinking of the 2,000-yard backs almost too, which is huge. It's a huge accomplishment. But the 49ers already had. I'm wrong. Yeah, it's okay. Hey, you tried.
I thought I saw a stat. I saw a stat that like they did something that no other team has done. And then I remember seeing that the Detroit Lions almost did the same thing. So actually, yeah, you're right.
Because the Lions got a 2 Lukas defending himself from the allegations. He says I'm not even high. Yeah, he is not. Trust me. We've seen.
Can we just let me go over this real quick? Lukas last show, eyes closed, and say, Lukas, open your eyes up. I'm not even high. Rewind the episode. That man smoked right on the show. He in front of everyone.
We need a replay. I didn't see that.
In front of everyone, and then he tried to deny the allegations that he was. Like in front of everyone, I
didn't see it.
I don't know. I definitely. I mean, he's sitting there. He's like,
"Hey, I don't snitch. I don't snitch. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't either. But I'm just. He came at me when I said something. He came at me and said, "Oh, I was."
I don't know.
Just throwing it out there for the people. I'm a man of the people. You guys know that. I'm a man of the people. You could throw James Johnston comment up there as well.
Yeah, and in a couple of minutes here we'll be having MicroMike join the show. Can't wait for that. Lukas Klotz, get your shit together. All right, we gotta figure this out.
Come on,
we do. Come on.
I just tried to drink my water bottle. It was closed.
Tried it. This is where we're at this morning. Come on, we got Lukas having internet issues. He'll be back. All right, but the secondary though, Booner. Before we get MicroMike on, I do want to bring this up. Going to the point I was going to make. One of these guys are going to go off. Is it Ayuk? Is it Debo? Is it George Kittle? I don't care, quite frankly. Someone's going to get 100-plus yards. Someone's going to get a touchdown. It is what it is. Now, what you don't want, and what they did really well against the Rams, is Puka Nacua went off, But what happened to Cooper Kupp, right? 5 catches for 30 yards. You can't let Ayuk, Debo, Kittle get whatever they want because they're going to not only drive down the field effortlessly, but they're going to punch it in. They're going to score TDs, and that puts a lot of pressure on this offense. I went through it. I think red zone, what they do in the red zone defensively is one of the most important things of this football game. But, man, just don't let them all eat, Booner. Like, this ain't Thanksgiving. Like, we only got to – you only can give out a little bit.
I think too, to be honest, this better work.
I think it's working. Are we better now?
We're better now.
I mean, you just look like you're talking in slow motion. That's all, but you're good.
Really?
No, I think you're good actually now.
You're good. Booner's just
but
I was about to be so bummed out. I was like, I figured it out.
To that though, Jeff. What's up, Klotzy? Blood Clots? How you doing?
Fuck you, Booner.
All right.
Okay.
Love you, Boone. How are we, boys? Feels good to be off Amazon. Oh my. They gave like the overtime or not the overtime, the VTOs where it's like they can tell you like, hey, you can take the day off. And they didn't call my name. And every time there was like 4 people who had it. And I was like, $50. $50. I was like, give me that $50. And they're like, I don't know. I was like, 60. And they're like, all right, we'll do 60. $60. I was out of there.
You were actually like auctioning your shift. Like
there was no way I was
just
driving
auctioneer out there
in an Amazon van today. I was not leaving that parking lot with packages. It was just not happening.
Steve Lehman.
I got up today. I was like, nope.
Where's his damn package?
Half of Toledo's not getting their packages now.
Dude, they had me in the mud yesterday. In the mud.
Guys, real quick, because my man is waiting already, and I want to introduce him because he's the man, the myth, the legend.
Let's go, man.
He's the man, the myth, the legend, and I want to make sure he is properly introduced. You guys know him. MicroMike's joining the platform. Mike, welcome to the show.
Shout out, Mike.
Thank you for joining. Look at him. He's fired up. Wait, we're both at Ford Field. Can you believe that? I'll be there today.
Crazy, man. How are we both at Ford Field and I got no one in the stands and you got everybody
in Hollywood. It's
at the same spot.
We're in the same spot. Mike's around.
What's going on there?
Mike, how you feeling this morning, my man? How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm feeling great. We're literally 60 minutes away from being from a Super Bowl. Like, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't know about you guys, but it's been rough this week. Like, I have nerves the whole week. All I'm thinking about is Detroit Lions is the Super Bowl. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, Mike, we kind of went through and talked about it, at least where our concerns are. I think offensively, Mike, and I think you would agree with me, this offense can compete with anybody in the NFL. Where our questions come into play is defensively, specifically their red zone defense. Because, Mike, I can make an argument that their red zone defense is why they've made it this far, right? And is there any part of you, or where's your confidence level, at least in this red zone defense? Can they keep up what they've been doing? No doubt it's the biggest test they've had, but what are your thoughts on just what they're going to have to do defensively to win this football game? Because it's a tough task.
We have to get a couple turnovers in this game. I think that's really important. We are a bend but not break defense, but we need to get those turnovers back to the offense. Because unlike the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, this offense can score in the red zone, the San Francisco 49ers, and I think it's imperative that we get a couple turnovers in this game and at least a couple of field goals instead of going touchdowns for the 49ers. They're just a really complete team offensively and defensively. It's going to take everything good. That's why Booner was saying, like, we need positive vibes. I agree. Manifest it, man. Manifest nothing but good, nothing but winning.
All positive vibes today, and I don't want to
positive.
see anything negative, no bad vibes. Mike, I want to ask you too real quick. And my name's, I've never met you, Mike. Booner, good to meet you. But confidence level of this defensive line, I think like the biggest thing is getting to Brock Purdy today. Like, I feel like every single bad game he's had he gets crushed all game long, and his reaction time, like that's where you kind of get to him. Do you have confidence level in this defensive line? I have a lot of confidence in Hutch. I think it just comes down to what these other guys can do at the end of the day.
I do, because if you look at the 49ers offensive line, they're ranked 15 in the NFL. It's not like they're the greatest offensive line in the world. Yeah, they got Trent Williams over there, but we have an Aiden Hutchinson. You know, we got players that can attack the quarterback as well. And what's good about this defensive line is they stop the run first. And this whole offense for the 49ers predicated on running the football. So if you could slow McCaffrey down, they're going to get to Brock Purdy. It's going to happen because they're going to have to pass at some point. Aiden Clutchinson, Mr. 8 sacks in 4 games. I fully expect him to get a couple in there. And we've seen Brock Purdy make mistakes. When he gets flustered, he'll throw interceptions. We've seen it in the Ravens game. We've seen it in the 3-game losing stretch that they had. And I think the Lions can win the matchup. Now, if you would have asked me a month and a half ago, I'd have been like, I'm really worried about the Lions' defensive line because they weren't getting pressure. But all of a sudden, they really started doing a good job with the safety blitzes and the corner blitzes and getting to the quarterback.
You got something, Lucas?
Yeah. I was making sure my Wi-Fi was bugging there for a second, so I was making sure I was good. Okay, Mike, nice to meet you as well, Lucas. But and understandably so, all this noise around the game as far as the Lions is with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahmyr Gibbs. But do you think there's a chance that David Montgomery has an impact on this game as well?
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, it's gonna be those games where I think it's gonna be really gritty. Remember watching the game for the Dallas Cowboys, how it felt like sometimes the defensive line was getting there, but we were making some plays as well. It's gonna be one of those games in here, and you got to have Montgomery. Honestly, between the tackles, he's been better than Jahmyr Gibbs. I say the last 4, 5, 6 weeks. He is hard to tackle, and we're going to have to get gritty yards. I don't think we're going to be getting 7, 8 yards a carry in this game. I think you're going to have to go in between the tackles, and you're going to have to get those 4 or 5 yards from David Montgomery. He may be the most important player on this team for today, getting those big down. And there's going to be some 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s in there. And we've seen what Denver Broncos said. Dan Campbell, they'll hand it off in those downs. So I think David Montgomery has got to have a massive game today. He's going to take a beating. He's going to have to overcome it.
Yeah, and speaking of just that run game, right? You have Jonah Jackson, who's out officially. Yodi will be filling in at that left guard spot, and then of course Frank Ragnow playing at about 70%. He's tough as nails, by the way, with everything that he's kind of had to endure. This is one of the best, arguably the best defensive line in the NFL. Where are you at with just how important it is? Because Frank said it best, and this team's kind of echoed his sentiments. This team will go as far as the offensive line will take them.
Yes.
Where are you at with just the injuries they have going into this game, and what's your confidence level that, listen, not only will they be able to run the football effectively, but they can protect Jared Goff, because we understand when he's protected, he's one of the best in the NFL.
I'm confident they're going to do that in this game. I know Woshika, he's going to be the left guard. He's been hotter cold with him.
He locked that in. That was
amazing. Well, because he's been all year. It's like we have to rely on him quite a bit, right? It's him or Dan Skipper. But Awushika, he's been hot or cold, and I think he's got to be hot in this game. There's no choice. Frank Ragnow, we know what he's going to bring, but that Jonah Jackson injury stinks. But hopefully he has a hot game. That's the thing, because they got some good interior defensive tackles over there for San Francisco, and the guards and Frank Ragnow are going to have to do their job. I'm confident Frank can do it. Graham Glasgow, Wushika. Oh, it's 50-50, man. Come on, man. Have the best game of your life today.
Hey, real quick, Robert Lane, thank you for $5 to set a donation chain. Keep bringing Mike on, Jeff. Let's fucking go Lions. Appreciate you, Robert, a ton. Hey, Booner, you got anything?
Yeah, I got some, Mike, real quick too, because I don't know, like the Dallas game, there was like that controversy to where obviously Dan kept the 2-point conversion, 7-yard line. I feel like, and I talked about it a lot on shows too, where it was like when this comes to the playoffs, like, Dan, we kind of want you to take that field goal. Let's go to OT. And there's like a lot that's been a conversation. It felt like the last 2 playoff games, when it came down to it, Dan kicked the field goal and he took the points. And I know you mentioned kind of taking field goals as well. How big do you think there's like a kind of a worry that Dan Campbell goes in today and maybe a little too aggressive, or do you think I feel like he's figured it out a little bit? But I guess we just never know. Like it could come down to it, and then he does it, and we're like, oh, don't do that. Are you confident in that, or is that kind of a back burner on our head?
Like I'm confident at like 70%. But the thing is sometimes we've seen Dan Campbell where he gets like extremely aggressive and he goes for it on every 4th down. And I think you got to be cautious with the defensive line like this. We've seen in games where we just weren't winning the line of scrimmage, and it's like, don't go for it then. It's 4th and 3. We haven't won the line of scrimmage all game long. Don't do it. He does it, and then we don't get it. I think we have to have a feel for this game. If the Lions are able to get these 4 or 5 yard run chunks, okay, maybe be a little more aggressive. But if these 4 or 5s are turning into 2 or 1 or 3, I think you got to be less cautious on that. See how the game feels. Look, if the defensive line's playing like they did with Green Bay Packers, go for it, go for it, go for it. But if they're playing like, ooh, it's tough, each yard is a grind, I think we should be a little less aggressive. Feel of the game, though, for this one, because we don't know what defensive line is going to come up for San Francisco. Are they going to be really good? They've seen it. We've seen in time San Francisco is dominant. Then we've seen a game like last week where it's not. So it just depends how the game is feeling in this one. But I'm with you. I'm confident that he'll feel it. But then there is that Dan Gamble. Hey, man, it's 4th and 25. We're going to go for it, man. Maybe you're going to do a 4th and 25.
Yeah. And fun fact, too.
On the 20 or something. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Something like that. Don't do that in this game.
Be smart.
If we're on our 20 and it's 4th and 4, hey, man, we're going to go for it, man. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Fun fact, by the way, the Lions, the 49ers defense, they're terrible in 3rd and short and closer. So
that's great.
So
that's
for
great.
4th and 1 situations, Dan Gamble's going to be sitting there going,
4th and 1,
yeah,
man.
Here we go, fellas.
There we go,
the
man.
49ers defensive line, you could say over the last month, they've kind of looking like a shell of themselves. I don't know what it is, but they have been getting manhandled. They've been the team that's kind of been having to absorb that punishment and then find a way to create plays later in the game. It's the same thing that happened last week against the Packers. So the Lions have a chance. Like if they're like right outside of Badgley range, wherever you feel like that's comfortable, I feel like for everyone it's different because after 40 yards and out, I'm crossing my fingers, but some people are confident. But if you're in that range, I think there's opportunities. But flipping to the defensive side, Mike, Brian Branch, in my opinion, best cover guy we have when it just comes to pure cover skills. Who do you think he's going to be matched up with? Because with Debo healthy, I would imagine they try to put him on Debo as much as they can. But do you think he's not going to shadow Ayuk, obviously, but do you think they're going to try to put him more on Ayuk? Or who do you think will be shadowing Ayuk the most?
I want the best player shadowing Ayuk and right there, and that's Will Harris.
Oh my God! Boot him! Get him out! Get him out!
I wasn't expecting that. I was not expecting that.
Hey, can there be like a little symbol you put in the sky? It's like Batman, but it's Will Harris, and he just comes down. That's what we need.
I think there'd be like a million little bat signals going over San Francisco. Don't do it,
Will Harris, baby.
Will Harris, baby.
All I know is my house would be nothing but beaming of blue if this goes out.
Keep his ass away.
Yeah, man, it's not the bat signal. It's the keep away signal. But look, I'm with you. I do want to see Brian Branch on the best, but with Debo out there, do you put Brian Branch with him or CJ Gardner-Johnson? I don't know, but I'm with you. I want to see the best with the best. But the thing is, we don't know how Debo is. Is he going to be a decoy in this game, or is he really going to take a punishment? What's your guys' feeling on this? If he's a decoy, I would say I'm with you, Luke. I'm with you.
Booner, go ahead because me and you are in standstill with it.
Yeah, no, I think Debo, and I've been on this all week. He didn't practice to start the week, and he just out of nowhere on Friday or Saturday, they're like, hey, he's practicing. I think that's gamesmanship, and I think there's still some sort. He hurt the same shoulder, same injury earlier this year, and when you hurt something twice, I'm on the fact where the second time it's probably just as bad, if not worse, and he had to sit 2 weeks last time. So I think they're not rushing him back. It's the playoffs, so they want him, but I don't think he's even close to 100%. I think he's got decoy. Yeah. And me and Lucas have said this all week is if CJ Gardner-Johnson puts one big hit on him, he's going to be in some pain. And I don't even think they said earlier this week, he wasn't even able to lift his hands up in practice to catch balls. Yeah. So I don't see like a major impact. I would be shocked.
For the 49ers, that's just so risky because in the NFC Championship, like that's the games where you can't have mistakes. And if you're going to put the ball in the hands of a guy that's got a shoulder injury, if he gets hit wrong, that's a fumble right now. You know what I mean?
Is.
So I would imagine that he's a decoy. And that's what I'm saying. Like at that point, because with CJ Gardner-Johnson, that's who I prefer on Kittle. Because if he could handle Kelsey in the Super Bowl, I think because obviously Kittle's a hard ass to bring down one-on-one. And with Anzalone dealing with the ribs, I mean, I'd almost rather see CJ try to create plays with Kittle because I think he can limit his down the field plays.
You know, I'm with you. Look, I had 3 separated shoulders and 2 surgeries on my shoulder. I actually did it when I was in the basic training. So when the first time you knock it out, what happens is your ligaments and tendons loosen up. So it's very easy to knock it out again. And when you knock it out again, it gets even easier to knock it out again. You eventually need the surgery. So for me, I'm with you. I think he's going to be somewhat of a decoy, but I know it sounds kind of mean, but I'll be hitting on him. I'll be hitting on him hard on that shoulder. Make him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you're right, man. Look, if you can knock him out of the game, you can put CJ on Kittle. I would like that matchup. I'd rather have CJ on Kittle than having Jalen Reeves-Maybin on Kittle or Derek Barnes. Someone's a little bit, CJ, he'll get beat every once in a while, but he's a playmaker. He'll make a play. And that's what you have to have. That's why I love with all the safeties that we got with Iffy and CJ and Brian Branch and Kirby's. You got some playmakers there. Yeah, we're going to get torched a little bit, but when it's time to make a play, they make a play every time. So, I agree with you there. I do that as well if Debo's out.
It seems like Debo's the type of, and a big yak guy, obviously, but he stays upright for so long, and it's almost to his, it hurts him. Like, even against the last game against the Packers, like, he had an easy play, just go down. He fights for an extra 3 yards and separates his shoulder again. It's like, all right, well, at this point, man, just go down. But you guys are right, though. I think CJ on George Kittle, that's ideal, man.
I love that. I like that.
Iffy. You got so much versatility in your secondary,
and he's big, too.
Iffy was running off the line with Mike Evans, and Baker Mayfield just dropped a dot, and Mike Evans made an incredible catch. But last week off the line, because Iffy used to play corner. He's running stride for stride with Mike Evans on a crosser, and they just made a play, but he was in perfect position. So if think about 6'5", Mike Evans, that's a big wide receiver. It's kind of comparable to George Kittle tight end as far as just a big target. If he's holding his own in coverage, that's plays to be had. Because Kittle catches with his body a lot too. That's his thing. Like he does catch with his hands. Obviously, he's a great tight end, but a lot of times he relies on body catching. So if the long arms can get in front of that, that's plays to be had.
Real quick, what a turnaround for this guy.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, think about, like, if we didn't have Iffy right now, like, he changed his defense so much. Like, not just
at the right coverage.
Time, yeah, like his blitzes, like him coming up and making plays at the line. Like, he has been so big for this defense, like night and day. And I don't want to go at like anyone else, but like him to Tracy Walker, like the game has been a little bit different. And like the defenses look night and day different since he stepped up and started playing.
Oh, yeah. If he step up, made it to where Jeff Iafrate and I just cut him off. So, Jeff, go ahead and speak.
No, Mike. What were you going to say? You're good.
I was just going to say, man, like his turnaround has made this defense much better, and we would not be here without Ifutu Melifonwu. This guy has just made big play after big play after big play, and he's big, man. He reminds me of the safety from the Baltimore Ravens who I really liked come out of the draft with the Aiden Hutchinson draft.
Kyle Hamilton.
Kyle Hamilton. He reminds me of Kyle Hamilton
Chancellor quite a bit. As far as a build. Like Cam Chancellor was 6'5", just swole ass safety that knock your fucking quarterback's face off.
He taking all sorts of vitamins to get big at the gym, aka steroids.
Yeah. Real quick for people that are just joining, we're joined by our good friend, MicroMike. You can check him out. If you don't know who he is, then you're crazy. I don't know. You're living under a rock. Lions Talk by Chat Sports at Lions Today. Mike, before you go here, I want to ask you this. And I don't know if you're going to do it on the stream. If you're not going to, you're going to save it for your content. I respect it. I'm going to ask you to give a score prediction. If you want to save it, that's okay. Nope. And then I'm going to ask you, give one X factor offensively and defensively. Just one important player, the most important player on offense and defense today for the Lions to win. And then give me your score prediction.
27-24 Detroit Lions win.
There you go.
Lions win. You got to manifest this stuff, folks. And I want everybody, I agree with Booner 110%. I've been like this all week. Manifest it. Believe that it can happen and it will happen. So everybody needs to pick the Lions there. Offensively, it's got to be Jared Goff, man. You're going into the biggest environment here. You got to have your playmaker, your quarterback make the plays. If he doesn't turn the football over and he plays like he has the last 2 weeks, the Lions going to win the game. It's what's going to happen. So it's got to be for me, Jared Goff. He's going into the Lions den, or the 49ers den. What do you want to call it? And everybody's coming for him. Bosa's coming for him, and they're going to be putting pressure on this guy. So he's got to stand in there and he's got to take it. Defensively, oh man, this is tough. This is tough. It's a tough one. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with I'm gonna go with Lee McNeil. I think we got to stop.
Ooh.
We got to stop that run, and he's
Good
got to
one.
have the best game of his career. They're gonna try to run it up on us right in the beginning of this game. Lee McNeil, he's got to come in here and be that playmaker to help stop that run. I know he's good at getting a little bit of a rush from a DT perspective, but we got to make sure we stop the run. They turn him one dimensional. Lions gonna win the game.
Yeah, no question about it, Mike. What's
Real
up?
quick, we're talking about positive vibes, Mike. Stars are aligning. Friday, I gave out my score prediction 27-24 as well. We're lockstep right now. We're locked in.
Huge. I was on the Huge show yesterday. He said 27-24.
Let's go. Things are aligning here, fellas. Things are aligning.
Going right.
Yeah, that's weird. 27-24. We don't have the script. We promise. This is just how it's going to play out.
I wish I did.
I may have the script.
Well, actually, I think Mike has the script because his name is at 49ers Lions of the Super Bowl. He might already know something. We don't
might know something.
Yeah, F the 49ers.
How is he in Ford Field and no one there? I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
Well, Jeff, Ford Field is actually probably empty right now, so I think Mike's actually at Ford Field. I don't know where you are.
Oh yeah,
we'll
be there.
We're
in
alternate universes right now, talking at the same time. Multiverse.
Yeah, no question about it. We appreciate you, Mike. We got to have you on again. Good luck in all.
You're the man, Mike.
Take it easy,
you guys know
fellas.
where to find Mike. All right, we appreciate you, Mike. We'll talk
to
you
you Lions.
soon.
Go Lions.
Go Lions.
Go Lions, baby.
Man, what a legend.
Legend.
Yeah, he's the man. He does such great work, man. I've been watching him for a while, and he used to come on the morning show with me and Adam. So we've been linked up. I mean, you guys he's a great guy, man.
I've seen him a ton, and that was the first time I ever got to meet him. And awesome dude, man. I've been a fan as well for a while.
His streams kill me.
Yeah,
like when I
they're funny. Yeah, they're funny as hell.
The best.
All right. You know what time it is, Booner?
Oh, we're hitting the bets.
We're hitting the bets. It's Booner.
I have a lot.
Booner's bets. We need your legacy player. We need your parlay, your crunch time parlay that actually Eric Gentry, Michael's brother, asked for specifically. So we gotta hook the boys up. People are asking for the crunch time parlay.
Yeah, you know Mike doesn't share his bets.
Yeah,
never.
Mike keeps them. He keeps them inside.
Like,
share a thing with anybody.
A day later, guys, I won like $4,000, and it's like,
Jeff, is that a Lions jacket?
Yeah, you like it?
That shit's cold.
That was made.
You like it?
Kyle Jusiak's wife made that for him. Juzak.
Yeah.
However you pronounce his name. Yeah, he got that custom made from
Hughes check.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't know what Booner. I just kind of let Booner pronounce it the way he wants.
We don't need to pronounce it right today. He's the enemy today.
Ohio boy. Yeah, correct. You're right. You're right there.
Don't care where he's from. Don't care who he is.
Check.
His wife made Jeff a jacket.
Yeah. That's how I'm getting in Kyle's head already. Just had his wife make me a jacket. Booner, what do you got for us today? People are already asking.
Yes, let's go. Everyone lock in real quick. I've got what's so funny, Lucas? What are you guys laughing at?
Check, bro.
Bro, who cares?
Who the hell is this dude talking about?
All right, let me lock in real quick. Let me pull up my bets real quick. Are you guys locked in? I'm waiting for you to lock in.
I'm listening, Booner.
Eyes, fellas. Let's go. Legacy player of the game. There's one guy that's going to go off today. I think actually multiple guys are going to go off. I think there's two guys that are going to go off. Legacy player. I'm going back to the guy that I hit 4 straight weeks earlier this year. I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs, fellas. Jahmyr Gibbs has a day. Hey, he has a day. He has a day running outside the tackles, just like we talked about all week long. The 49ers are one of the worst teams in the NFL. Is that his jersey?
Jahmyr.
Let's go,
Jahmyr.
baby. So I've got 3 bets here for him. I've got Gibbs over 22.5 receiving yards for him. Also, no rush. I'm not taking his rushing yards. I'm taking 74.5 all-purpose yards, and as well Gibbs touchdown. What is it? Plus 135. So Gibbs is the legacy player, fellas. Now,
I love it, Booner. I love it.
Straight plays. I have 5 straight plays. Couple touchdowns, couple yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown over 86.5 yards. That man gets 100 yards today.
Yeah,
no doubt. He gets 100 yards today. Over 86.5 is easy. Aiden Hutchinson. He is in FanDuel at minus 120 to get a sack. I'm taking that as well. He will get to Brock Purdy. He will destroy Brock Purdy. I'm not going to say he'll kill him, but as a joke, not like literally, but he's going to kill him. Also, this is where I got CJ Gardner-Johnson interception. I got it at plus 800. I know El Gato said he got it at plus 1700. In FanDuel this morning when I put it in, it was plus 800. So I don't know if there's somewhere to get it plus 1,700, go get it. I think CJ gets an interception today. Him and Debo conversation all year long. I think he goes out there. What's crazy, fellas? CJ seems to be a guy that anytime that he goes back and forth with someone, he makes the play and he dominates. It's every time.
Even when it's Tom Brady.
Every time he makes the play. So plus 800, I'm taking that. Two more touchdown scores. DMOT plus 160 and Amon-Ra St. Brown plus 135. I'm going to say this about the touchdown scores, fellas. Detroit Lions have scored 3 or 4 touchdowns today. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. Every single touchdown score for the Lions is plus money. It's plus 135, plus 160, plus. I'm taking the top 3 guys, DMOT, Gibbs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown today, all plus money. Everyone should be taking those. Everyone.
Booner, if
you don't get these guys plus money all the time.
Because I'm going to do a couple straights, but if I was going to cook up a parlay, who do you think the most, because I'm thinking DMOT, but who do you think the most guaranteed touchdown? If I was going to build it around it, I know
probably
you don't
DMOT. I just don't put touchdowns in parlays. I'm not.
I know, but I've been smacking them. I've made money, and I called Gibbs and Amon-Ra last week. Both of them hit.
I'd probably do Gibbs.
Gibbs is the one that you think is the most likely touchdown score?
Yeah, he seems to be getting the ball more now. And then I do have my parlay here, plus 499, so basically plus 500 parlay. I need you guys to lock in on this and listen to every like here. You ready?
Okay.
Gibbs.
What are the odds?
It's basically plus 500, on the dot. Jameer Gibbs, 40 rushing yards.
Yep.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, 7 catches.
Yep.
Jared Goff, 225 yards.
Yep.
Josh Reynolds, 25 yards.
Yeah.
And the Detroit Lions to cover plus 7.5. Plus 500. I don't see something that misses. The only one you could say maybe, Josh Reynolds has had games where he steps back, but the last 3 games he's been dominant the last 3 games. And in the big games, when you need him, he comes up.
I was going to say, I was looking at it earlier. I was going to almost do 40 for him. Because 2 catches for Josh Reynolds is 40 yards. Now, I did 25, but I think he could easily be 40.
He could get 40. I mean, it just depends on who they're going to. So what I did in that parlay, so I had the plus 500. I had originally Jameson Williams 2 catches instead of that. So, Ornery U of M dad, he said Laporta touchdown. I don't hate that as well. All of these guys are plus money, and I would not imagine we've seen games where all of these guys score and get in the end zone.
Well, and I put in the first half.
By the way, I put all your plays in the comments, so people can see them for yourself.
We'll put out a tweet if we haven't already.
Yeah, we'll put out a tweet as well. This is I want this to be like the Booner. There's a whole committee, a huge committee of people tailing these bets. I want it to be like. Booner's an elite gambler. People got to follow this man.
Elite. I've gone very elite. I don't want to
You do know your thing or two about sports betting.
There was a 3-week span where I went 17-0 in Lions bets. So this isn't I'm not just in here messing around.
Insane.
I went 14-4 or 14-3 on my legacy players, and that's all single bets. So we're locked in. One more thing too, I want to mention in the gambling segment. I was scrolling through my bets today, just after I put them all in, and then I went to go write them down, and I'm going through my bet slips. Something popped up. Forgot I had it on there. I have the Detroit Lions, I believe, and let me double check, at plus 750 to win the NFC Championship game. So right now I have them money line basically at plus 750. I have a few units on that as well. And I forgot I had it.
A few units. Points.
I forgot I had it, and I'm scrolling, and I'm like,
points.
I was like, oh my gosh. So I have the Detroit Lions money line basically plus 750. So that's
Booner.
That's a snag.
That's something only that a top 150 gambler in the country does.
A top 100, actually. I've moved up.
Wait, you moved up?
Let me check. Let me double check. Hold on.
Let me double check. There's a ranking, and you see Booner on there. What are you checking? Is there
it's a picture of him with the mohawk just staring down?
Okay, yep. It's top 100 now. I moved up 50 spots.
Can you send a screenshot?
In the last
I don't know if we got that, Klotz.
In the last 3 days, there's been a lot of movements in my life and things that have happened, and then they out of nowhere, I looked at my Twitter bio and it was top 150, and I was like, or top 100. Top 100.
Booner isn't good with math. God hates Coward says. Look at this. J2 Detroit Booner path only moves up.
That is true.
Jeff, I
See,
just put in our text group chat.
Booner the Don.
I don't know if you could take that and put it up on the screen.
Let's relax. Booner
I-
the Don. The
Lucas.
Don.
Lucas, come on. I am
you have,
Booner.
You have your. I'll give you your flowers, Boone.
Evidence that you're a top 150 gambler.
Yeah. What?
This is your evidence.
Come on. I don't know what else you guys want. I'm top 100 in the country.
He just sent me a screenshot of his bio on Twitter and just said
He goes, let me check. He's looking at the database. He's just changing his Twitter bio. Yeah, actually.
Are you gonna pull it up?
No. Yeah.
Can you show the people?
Hold on, I can't. Okay, let me show the people. Want me to actually? Okay, I'll show.
Yeah.
The
Are you gonna TD this show or not? Are you gonna TD this show?
Yeah.
What we
Now
doing?
you're taking shots.
Hey, you worry about your job. I'll worry about my job. Right?
I've offered to get some control over this stuff here.
I actually don't. Hold on. Okay, here you go. This is the evidence that Booner is a top 150 gambler. You guys ready for this? Right there. Oh, now he's 100. Okay, so the
Top
evidence
100. It somehow it changed. I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
but
that's
where,
all.
Where are you located, Booner? Where are you located at?
What do you mean?
Go to his Twitter bio again.
Oh shit! Okay, hold on. Let me get it back up.
Jeff's a
Let me
tough
get it back
TD, man.
What do you do? Okay,
You're slacking.
Hey, I'm like
You
an
gotta lock in, dude. It's
I'm
a
like
big
a
day.
spider out here. I'm like an octopus. All right, relax. I gotta use everything. Oh yeah, hold on.
What?
I gotta use like
whoa.
I need like 8 hands to do this job. All right.
Whoa. Whoa.
There you go. What's
Where
the
are you
evidence? What are
located?
we looking
The
for?
Booner path.
I'm on the Booner path.
I like how it says Booner at the beginning of the bio. Like we don't know it's Booner.
Yeah,
that's
like we don't see it twice before.
like it
I didn't even think of that. My name is just my name. I didn't even think of that. I just put Booner. Just want people to know.
I mean, it
literally 3 straight times in a row. Booner. That's great.
I love it. Let's get to our final scores, and then we'll get to the chat because I want you guys to put your final scores, and we'll put up as many as we can. I'll read as many as I can.
Maybe a little mailbag today, or
yeah, we can do a little mailbag too. We're going to
mailbag
11:30, so excuse me. We'll make sure we hit the time out there. But Booner, you got 27-24. Tell me why you see it that way. 3-point game.
Yeah, I think. I mean, and I'm going to do this. And I know a lot of people. There were some people that are saying like I could see the Lions actually going out and winning this game by 10 points. I just think it's NFC Championship game, dude. You're in the playoffs. You're going to be in. And I said this on Friday. You're going to be in a war. At the end of the day, like things aren't going to go our way. Just like Dan Campbell said in the press conference this way, things are going to go bad. Stuff's going to happen. Right. Don't overreact. And when we did the stream all year, things bad would happen and people would be overreacting. I would see that 3-letter word in there all the time.
That's kind of
and
a bar, Boone.
Yeah, and it's just do not overreact. Just stay put. Things are going to be fine. The Detroit Lions are going to have a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter, and it's going to be very, very stressful. Like it's going to come down to the last possession, whether you need to get a stop or you need to go get a score, because it's happened every single week for the last 4 or 5 weeks. So I think it's going to be a 1-possession game. You're going to sit there and you're going to be locked in the whole time. And I just think a guy like Jared Goff, Dan Campbell. I know Kyle Shanahan is Kyle Shanahan, but I just think this Lions team. They have a lot of momentum going right now. And the 49ers, obviously, a lot of those guys had 2 weeks off. They came back, played bad versus the Packers. They don't really have much momentum going in their direction besides they just have good players. So I think the Lions have all of the momentum in the world. They have the players as well to line up against them, and I think they go win the game 27-24. And the Booner path is almost finished, man.
It's almost finished. The job, job's not finished.
Job's not done.
Job's not finished. Lucas?
No, but I said
what do you got?
I said 34-31 Lions, so it's a 3-point game, and I think everything that Booner said is spot on. This is not going to be an easy game. This is, if not the best team in the NFL right now, the second team with the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. That's the consensus around it. So, and I don't think that's going to go anywhere, especially at home in the NFC Championship. But I do think there's ways that the Lions can exploit the 49ers, and I think they're going to. And I think there's going to be a point where the Lions take the lead in this game, and then that's where Kyle Shanahan in the playoffs, he kind of loses his identity, and he tries to get too cute, and I think the Lions can make plays off of that. But it is going to be a close game. I do think there's going to be a turnover for the Lions, whether it's on the ground or Jared Goff throwing a pick, and at the end of the day, that's going to happen in these type of games, and you can't be mad at it because I think the Lions will overcome that. But I just think it's going to be slow, gritty game, and it's whoever gets the ball last. I think it's going to be Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Game-winning drive, legacy drive. Whether it's a touchdown or a kick, I think they get what they need.
So I went back and forth with this one, with the score, because I went 30-23, but I like a lower scoring game, man. Like I kind of do. I think it might lean that way because you have two opportunistic defenses. The 49ers defense, I mean, they're like second or first or something like that in points allowed. They only allow like 18 points a game. I mean, look at the Packers game. Jordan Love was playing really well going into that game, and it was a lower scoring game. Like, so I picked 30-23. I'm going to lower it. I'm still going to go with the Lions, but I'll go like 20. I'll go 24-20. That's what I'm going to go because I do think it'll be a lower scoring game. Maybe it goes Lucas's way. I think they win by 4, and it's going to come down to forcing turnovers. The red zone defense is going to have to be stout, and obviously with my score prediction, I think they continue to be what they have been in the red zone. And then, of course, taking care of the football, winning the turnover battle. That's everything. And I think Jared Goff this game, he might turn the ball over. He might turn it over once. I do think the Lions are going to be able to recover. I do, because I think Brock's going to give up 2. So I think there'll be a couple turnovers combined in this game. Give me the Lions winning 24-20. I'm going to lower the score a little bit there before we get our official out there. But there you go.
Trippy Gypsy said, Jeff, give your score prediction for the San Francisco fans as well, please.
I already gave those out on the San Francisco radio. Yeah. People already know.
I won't get into that. I apologize.
I think it's going to be a higher scoring game just because the conditions are perfect and both secondaries, you can make plays on them. And both running games for both teams, they just make plays regardless. So I think it's going to be hard for either team to stop either team. So that's just where I'm coming from. But to your point, a lot of those times in those games, that's when it just, for some reason, it's a defensive game. Like the defensive coordinators just know how to scheme up and stop it. And it's just who can grind away the most time of possession. And that's where having a good kicker like Jack Fox and good returners, I know that Khalif Raymond's out, but Donovan Peoples-Jones, he is a good punt returner. If he can get good returns, that sets up the offense for shorter drives, and that's a big momentum swing too.
I will say, I'm a DPJ guy.
Yep.
Hasn't been great punt returning. And he hasn't.
I don't think he's got the best opportunities yet, though, either.
But I mean, last week he had a couple where he could have made some plays, and he got he did not make great returns. He didn't have great returns. That's going to be huge.
Once he gets going, that's he's a longer. He's not like Khalif. Khalif can just go. DPJ, right. he needs a little bit of momentum. He's a longer wide receiver. So once he gets going, that's when it, like, if he gets 15 yards of just space, that's when it could be over with. Khalif just needs like 5-10 because he can just ding, ding, ding. I'm not saying he's like as good as Khalif. No, I think Khalif is one of the most underrated returners in the league. But DPJ, he had multiple returns for Cleveland.
Hey, that man is underrated. He was an all-pro returner last year.
Well, no, but I'm saying, like, whenever you think of good returners, nobody's like Khalif Raymond.
Yeah, I get that. Shout out, Leaf.
Yeah, I miss Leaf, man. He's like one of those guys that it's not like they have depth at receiver, but you just like for special teams, man. He's so important. Like,
yeah,
even
dude, huge.
On offense in games
before
like
he got hurt.
Oh yeah.
Before he got hurt, though, like he was giving us such good field position the game he got hurt in the Minnesota game.
Like, and I will say, wide receiver screens, like smoke screens to wide receivers, are some of my least favorite play calls in the NFL. But when it goes to Amon-Ra St. Brown or Khalif Raymond, I don't even care because they find a way to get yardage on it. But there's so many teams on like 3rd and 8, they'll go wide receiver screen, they'll get tackled for 2 yards. At best, normally it's 3 or 4 yards. But when you have guys like Khalif Raymond and Amon-Ra St. Brown who just make plays, they just grind out the first downs every time. But if that's where going to how you lose this game for San Francisco, if they do that type of stuff and just try to get too cute, because with Debo being out, they're going to try to find ways to manipulate like his short yardage where you make plays off of it. And they go screen game a lot. I think there's plays to be had for the Lions behind the line of scrimmage.
We'll go to the comments here because people are chiming in with their thoughts. I want to make sure they get their voice. If you have any questions too, feel free to put that in the chat. For the last 10 minutes of the show, we'll go through questions. Look at some of these score predictions too. Like Matthew Evans, I love the confidence. I mean, 37-21 Lions.
I love that. That would be a very stressful.
Imagine the show we're doing if that's the outcome. Josh Horton, appreciate you becoming a Crunch member. YouTube,
Josh.
Thank you for that. Let's see. Theo99 Gibbs will be the player of the game. 3 TDs. Hat trick.
That was
2 on the ground, 1 in the air.
I wonder what that is to bet on it.
God hates cowards. ARSB dominates this game when he's needed. Primetime players make primetime plays when the game is on the line. Amon-Ra St. Brown has championship blood flowing through him. That's a dude that, like, on any stage
will produce.
In the backyard, in the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter where he's playing. And
he's not CeeDee Lamb in the wild card round.
I mean, hell. In the parking lot of a Chick-fil-A, like he's going to be cooking. It doesn't matter where it is. He's that talented. Josh Orton, gifted one Crunch member as
Shout
well.
out,
Thank you, Josh Orton. Let's see. Juice Talks Football. No matter what we win, when we win, no matter what, when we win, we have a rematch from the regular season. That's true.
Yeah.
Ravens or Chiefs.
Fair. And you've lost to one and you beat one. So it's going to be huge.
Elgato, $2. Golf can not turn over the ball. That is key. LFG. Elgato, appreciate you.
No fumbles, no interceptions.
No
Fumbles, no interceptions. No. Take care of the rock. Take care of the
rock.
Don't give them an extra possession.
You don't have room for error, especially here in the NFC Championship game against that team. I wouldn't know. It's a good name. Crunch Time Mail. If Jared Goff wins the Super Bowl, does he tie Barry Sanders as the greatest Lion ever? Okay, well,
that's
let me
talent-wise not even close. Legacy.
Yeah.
Probably,
what are we basing it off of? Are we basing it off of accomplishments? Because and this is what I always say, guys, and this isn't a diss, Jared, but this is where it gets a little confusing. Why is football a team game until we don't need it to be a team game?
Jeff,
like come on, that's frustrating.
Jeff, let me cut you off real quick.
People like to pick and choose when to call football a team game. Like if we're talking about the greatest Lion ever, I like to look at talent. No, I wouldn't say that, but he's up there. He's in that discussion. Yep. He's a quarterback that brought home a Super Bowl.
He's top 5 for sure.
Absolutely.
Barry's the best ever, right? But
yes.
Barry's what we have to understand, and this is what Jeff, I was going to cut you off, which we have to understand. The Detroit Lions finish this run off and go win a Super Bowl. All of these guys will be more immortalized than any other Detroit Lions ever.
You know who will be the most immortalized?
Dan Campbell, Panay, every one of these guys, I'm telling you, this is going to change Detroit Lions history. Like it already has. No one's ever done this. And if they go and do this, I'm not like talent-wise, yes, Barry is the best to ever put on a Lions jersey. That is a fact. He's one of the best to ever put on an NFL uniform. But when we're talking about Detroit Lions history, if you go win a Super Bowl, that puts you in a different, like no one's done that. Like that,
yes,
we haven't been to a Super Bowl.
You're talking about the whole roster, right? Like
I'm talking about like even players singly, you're able to start saying singly players are like, you could put them, and I'm not saying talent-wise, but I'm saying as all-time greats in Detroit.
Yes, but my point is, Booner, if you say Jared Goff is immediately up there, then like Panay's up there, St. Brown's up there, Aiden Hudson's up there.
Yes.
Like
Dan
Campbell.
Campbell.
I mean? So that's why the question when he was asked, Jared Goff, I'm like, well, it would be a lot more players. Barry's still the GOAT, though.
Barry's still the best. And Barry is one of the best to ever play in the NFL. So like there's no guy on the team like that right now. Barry is one of the best ever in the NFL. We're talking about, though, in my opinion, when I had this conversation, it's about all Lions all-time greats. Some of these guys, like if you go win a Super Bowl, you can solidify yourself as an Lions all-time great forever because no one has ever done it.
Steve Dara. I appreciate you for tuning in. He says, I want to see a Monday morning show after this Lions win.
Oh,
I will be live.
I will be live as well.
The boys, we'll do like a almost like a reaction stream, and then we'll do the actual show at night, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Like
it'll be our first
consistent with that, but we'll have like a reaction. I don't know how long yet, but we'll definitely do something Monday morning.
It'll be like a one-off Monday morning stream. Just
a Lions
we'll do 2
win,
streams in one day. I'm off work as well, so
Lions win again.
Should be good to go.
Gotta celebrate that.
At Ornery 3 U of M Dad said Booner is maybe top 100 of this chat. Ornery 3, I did make you some money, free money too. I might be top 5 in the country for Ornery 3 Dad. I did a free parlay for someone and he did win it. He said just messing with you, Booner. I love Ornery 3 Dad. I messaged with him back and forth on Twitter. Great dude, by the way.
Look at this, Gibbs TD. 3 TDs plus 5,500 on FanDuel.
Jeez. Probably won't do that, but that's a nice little sprinkle.
Put a unit on a Booner.
I saw this one. This one,
guys.
This is I love this comment. I do. 49er stock seems they could just take away St. Brown, no problem. I don't see it. Yeah, well, that's what a lot of talking heads, and that's not really a slight to anybody. You just say that, like, right? You take away St. Brown, you limit their pass.
That easy,
guys.
can people just be realistic? Like we
They
sit
forget
here and we
about Ben
say,
Johnson in that equation.
dude,
Yeah, then you got to shut him
They
down.
just forget Ben Johnson exists.
Because
we talk all week about how you can't take away guys like George Kittle and they're gonna go off. You have to find a way to win still, though. Like,
Yep.
can they just be like, hey, can't take Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna be Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL right now. He's the best left in the playoffs. You're not gonna do like he's gonna go get his. He's gonna have 7 for 100, 8 for 100 today.
Once they start winning games like this, it'll stop. Because once it's just like all the tensions on the Lions right now, if Amon-Ra shows up, he's going to be considered after this season because especially you got first team All-Pro, like he's just going to start being considered one of those guys.
Oh, look at this. This is a true comment too. Caden's right. They think they could take Amon-Ra away because they sleep on everyone else. Yeah, what are you going to do about Josh Reynolds, who had 80 yards in the first quarter of the Rams game? Like, what are you going to do about him? Like, what are you going to do about Laporta? No Zach Ertz, Lukas Klotz.
Yeah, it's sad. I
Can
get
he
it, though.
still
I
get
get
moved
it.
up?
Well, the thing is where I'm not even mad is just because back to what we were saying with Debo and the shoulder injury, where it's just like mistakes can lead to turnovers right now. And in those games, you can't have it. If Zach Ertz just runs the wrong route or he creates spacing from if he's in there with Laporta, another slot guy that's outside of him, if the spacing's wrong and now you have a defender that's in a better spot and that leads to an interception or there's just so many things that could go wrong just because he's so fresh. And I understand he's a vet, but just with the system and Ben Johnson's system is very complicated. So I understand it, but I don't think it's not a loss. You know what I mean? He hasn't been on the team
because you never had it. It's not a loss because you never had it.
And to Booner's point from what he was saying, it's already so valuable to have that man in the locker room with a rookie tight end who's playing like he's an all-pro. And when you have him in there in these big moments, that matters because when you talk about spacing, when you talk about on third downs, you need to be locked in on this, that all matters on the field.
I'm sure he's with the team at the field in the game. Like I'm sure he's
he'll probably be on the sideline dressing casual or something like that.
Yeah. So like as much as people are like, oh, we would love him catching passes. He's going to be make an impact off the field that you just didn't have before, and he's gonna and if you win tonight, there's a chance like he's been in the building now that you have 2 weeks, you have a week off, and then the Super Bowl. He's probably going to play in the Super Bowl, and you have him in your locker room now for a Super Bowl. So it makes a big difference.
Let's get to some more comments here, and then we'll close out the show. We got 3 minutes left, so we'll try and get through these. Look at that boy Roy 2.0 is St. Brown the best 4th round draft pick.
I have to go back and look. He's definitely up there.
That comment might be an all-time comment. That might be an all-time comment, dude.
Yeah. You see how Lucas's hair is growing back? He actually had the Walter White fade. That's what he had. He had the Walter White haircut, completely bald, brewing meth.
Someone cooked here.
Yes. No, that's look at this. Yeah. Honestly, that Breaking Bad's goated. Best show I've ever seen.
Stefan there said Booner bet of the day. Jahmyr Gibbs. Everything Jahmyr Gibbs. Not rushing.
Put the mortgage on him.
Don't do it responsibly.
If you had to put a straight bet for Josh Reynolds yards, that was just like, it's risky, but I think it's a lock. What do you think the yards is? 40. I think it's more than 25.
Well, his line, I think, is like 36.5.
Yeah, 40 minimum. He's over on that easily.
Yeah. Okay.
I
want to make sure we're on the same play. If he gets like 60, 70 yards like he did against the Rams, they win this game.
Yeah.
Because he had, 80 against the Rams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
they win. It doesn't have to be in the first.
Wait, the Rams. Are you talking about the Bucks?
No, he got like 75 yards against the Rams now.
He had 80. He had like 4 catches for 80 yards or 5 catches for 80 yards.
Sorry. I thought you were talking about Jahmyr rushing. That's my bad.
Because, is the Rams offense really that much worse than the 49ers? If you really think about it.
I mean, I would certainly say
the 49ers take it, but Kyron Williams wasn't far behind him as far as
second best running back in the NFL.
And then I'm taking Stafford, Puka, and Cooper Kupp over Purdy, Ayuk, and Debo, especially when Debo's banged up.
Look, hopefully you don't have to go up against the refs too. He's right.
I hope not.
It's good. There's going to be a crucial penalty. It's whether it's on the Lions or the 49ers, it's coming.
Positive vibes.
I'm not saying it's against the Lions. It could be against the 49ers. There is going to be a huge call in this game, though. Hopefully, on Ambry Thomas.
Yeah, that's barbecue chicken.
barbecue chicken.
Real quick before we go, hold on. I just got
Stefan. Yes, I took Gibbs anytime touchdown.
Is that your only TD score?
No, so the legacy play
Gibbs.
is Gibbs over 22.5, Gibbs all-purpose 74.5, and a Gibbs touchdown, I think like plus 135. I also had Hutch, sack, CJ Garner-Johnson, interception.
Like TD score, though?
No, and then the straight bets, Hutch, DMont plus 160, and St. Brown plus 135. I have 3, yes. All plus money, dude. I mean, you can make money off that. If one hits, I mean, you're basically making your money back almost. Shout out Spend More Rags, too.
It's that time, boys. We're going to get out of here. But we appreciate you guys for tuning into the program, supporting us. Man, the support has been everything. It's been a lot of fun doing this. We'll do more. Hopefully, you know what? I'm not going to say hopefully. We will do more pregame shows because the Lions are going to win today. Then we're going to preview the Super Bowl.
We'll have a Super Bowl pregame show, baby.
We'll have more. We'll have more in the future. We appreciate you guys. Have a good day. Get fired up. Go Lions. It's a historic day. Booner, what do you got? What's up?
Everyone, as we leave, the Booner Path. Drop it in the chat. Let's go. We're 1 win away from being on the Booner Path being finished. Said Booner Path to the Super Bowl. We win today. The Booner Path has been completed, and then we go win the Super Bowl, and we go get the job done. And guess what? I'll be at Ford Field today. If you guys are there, come say what's up. Jeff will be there after the game and after the Detroit Lions beat the 49ers. I'll be out probably by the Barry Sanders statue, drinking the Kool-Aid, doing the Kool-Aid video. Make sure you go follow Crunch Time on all socials. It'll be posted on there. It'll be posted on at Booner Sports as well. It'll be posted everywhere. And we're drinking Kool-Aid tonight, baby. It's the Booner Path. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Jeff Iafrate, Booner, Lukas Klotz. Love you, boys. Crunch Time with Jeff Iafrate and Booner. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be live, and then we'll have a reaction show tomorrow. We also have something posted later today, of course, reaction to the game. Quick little thing. But we'll see you guys. Have a great one. Deuces.